In this episode, we're going to talk about live streaming and whether or not you should podcast via live stream. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Interview Connections TV. This morning I am actually going to be taking Nathan to his Music Together class. We had a little bit of extra time, so I stopped by the office to film this episode. So he is lounging in the reading chair watching one of his shows, so mommy can do some work. In today's episode, I want to talk about live streaming. Blab, Periscope are super hot right now. They are two platforms that I believe and a lot of marketers believe are going to be sticking around for a long time. A lot of podcasters are asking the question, should I or could I podcast via live stream? You kind of kill two birds with one stone. You can be live streaming and be using the power of video, but you're also recording an interview, you're recording a conversation that you can then put out on your podcast. So can you kill those two birds with one stone? Yes, you absolutely can. You can definitely multi-purpose that content. You can be live streaming, recording that conversation, stripping the audio, putting it onto a podcast. It's a great way to save time and do two things at once. However, I would caution you to just consider the fact that a conversation that you have with someone via video produces a different dynamic than one that you record audio only, because you can see each other, right? You are kind of laughing a little bit more. Maybe you're looking at each other's, facial expressions, especially with Blab, you have people commenting. So maybe you're interacting with the audience. For somebody that's listening to your podcast in their earphones, in the car, they're not looking at the video, it's a different experience when they're listening to something that was recorded as a video and as a live stream. Consider how that recording might sound to someone who is not watching the video. Now, I listen to Ask Gary Vee. That is a podcast that is recorded. He puts out that video. I listen to the audio only content. I know that he sometimes references people in the room and I can't really see what's going on. I like that content so much that I don't really care that I'm missing out on the video. However, there are some podcasts that are being recorded via Blab that I'm not so keen on listening to just the audio because I feel like I'm missing out on something because I'm not also seeing the video aspect. You can do both. You can, record your conversations on Blab and use that audio and put on your podcast, but just know that you may be missing out on a more quality conversation that could be had when it's just audio. It's just a different dynamic, folks. So I think that you should be doing both, but maybe not necessarily always together. If you want to check out my podcast, it is not recorded via Blab. It's at roadstosuccesspodcast.com, and come back to interviewconnections.tv every Tuesday for new videos. I am Jessica Rhodes. I'm your host. I'm committed to helping you leverage your brand through the power of authority and expertise. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you next Tuesday.
Can only water hold a place on the shoes. Battle of the years, he's made a claim about